If you do have a problem with the recording, please shoot me something privately. We can always pause as needed. And I'll give that just a moment or two to get going. Okay. All right. And get my screen share going here. Sorry, one moment here. Let me get the right presentation up. So tonight is our first night of trends. We kicked this off actually last summer, and I can't believe that it has been over a year since we had trends. So a few things have changed, and we'll talk a little bit about how we got to where we are, and what we're going to be doing over the next few weeks. Those of you who are here tonight, some of you maybe were part of trends in the past, and welcome back. And it wasn't a requirement that you had to have taken this before. So if you're new, definitely not a problem at all. We'll be glad to have you. And I'm sure you'll get up to speed really quickly. So this is just a slide kind of saying a little bit about what TRENDS is. TRENDS stands for Technical Research Enrichment for Navigating Data Science. So what is our purpose? We want to make sure those of you who are participating in middle and high school, that's the target grades. We want you to reach your fullest human potential because that's needed in the field of data science. And we'll talk about what those different opportunities are. We want to demystify data science. Technical research enrichment for navigating data science is what we're going to focus on. And my name is Dr. Tony Arnold McFarland. And in a moment here, we'll introduce others on the team. So this is a part of a series of activities for the RTP NSBE chapter, NSBE Junior chapter. And NSBE, if you're not familiar with NSBE, that stands for the National Society of Black Engineers. It is an international organization. We have a professional chapter here in the Raleigh-Durham area. That would be people who are already in their career. So they're out of college and working in their career. Maybe, people in NSBE who are professionals, maybe your parents are, or people at school. And the NSBE Junior chapter is the Research Triangle Proteges, which is K through 12. And this particular activity is for middle and high schoolers. But we also have kicked off our fall STEM activation series. And what you see here on the screen is a listing of the other things that we have going on. ACE tutoring also happens right here, at this same URL, the same link, on Tuesdays and Thursdays from 6 to 7:30. We do have a couple of people in a breakout room that may join us when they're done with tutoring. And we'll have the calendar will come up shortly for when trends will meet. And then we're going to kick off in November the matriculators. So this is a college readiness group. So if you're in grades 9 through 12 and you need some insight on getting ready for college, finding scholarships, determining what you want to major in, what schools do you want to go to, we'll have some people here to talk with you about that. And we'll talk more about how you can sign up for it. It doesn't kick off until November. So within the next 2 weeks, we'll get that one started. All right, so here is the calendar. I will share this with you all of the activities for trends. Tonight, we'll meet until 8 o'clock. This is week 1. And then Saturday from 11 to 1:30, we'll have a lab on data collection and visualization. And I think the plan is to use Excel for that. And then on Monday, we will meet on Monday instead of Tuesday. With Tuesday being October 31st, we felt like perhaps some of you, you could have an activity already planned, or if not, I don't have anything planned, but my doorbell may be ringing, during the session. So we moved it to Monday, October the 30th. And week 2, we'll focus on coding in Python. We'll talk a little bit about that tonight. And Saturday, November the 4th, is set aside for Python Day. Tuesday the 7th, we'll talk about history ethics and a case study. And then Friday, November 10th, we had that set aside to practice for show and tell. So during our trends camp last summer, we actually had projects, but since this is a mini version, we may not have time to do that. It might just be a show and tell of activities that you have been doing in the sessions, and then we can fit in some additional help if needed during our tutoring session. So you can come back outside of this time if needed on Tuesday or Wednesday for additional help. And we may be ready to do our final presentation and show and tell on Tuesday the 14th. We can possibly make some adjustments on those dates that are a little further out once I speak with your parents and make sure that works for them and, know what the availability is. All right. So we're going to kick off week 1 tonight. We're going to meet the team, the instructors who will be helping you, the volunteers. We'll talk about the data camp overview. If you haven't completed the survey, we do want you to do that because that kind of gives us some insights about you. And we're collecting data. This is a data science camp, and we're collecting data so we can understand what we need to do better. So that's what you do with data. You collect it and you get some insights from it and use that information to make decisions. Then there'll be an icebreaker. We'll have a fun icebreaker, and then we'll talk about Intro to Python, and then we'll have a closing. All right. So we will quickly do some introductions. My name is Dr. Tony Arnold McFarland. I am in Raleigh, North Carolina, so I'll say where I'm located, and went to North Carolina State University, where I studied mechanical engineering, also got a minor in African American Studies, got an MBA for the University of Phoenix when I got to work, because I work for John Deere, and also have a doctorate of ministry in creative arts. What I got from the Graduate Theological Foundation, and some things I like doing for fun. Science. I like doing a lot of scientific things, like just for fun. I like looking at the sky. I like looking at the planets and studying the universe, and actually using my telescope when I have time, or my astronomical binoculars to see them much closer. So I really enjoy being around people who like to have fun in STEM. I'm going to pass it to you, John Winstead.
Hello, can you hear me?
I'm not hearing you, John, if you're talking.
Hello, can you
Are
hear
you all
me?
able to hear John?
Hey,
Dr. Toy,
John.
you kind of broke up a little bit because I didn't hear what you said. Quick intro. Okay. I'm John Winstead, better known as Big John. My son is on the call. I have a master's in system engineering from Penn State, a bachelor in mechanical engineering from A&T, have an MBA from City University, and I'm currently a system engineer at a company called Collins Aerospace, where we make fire protection equipment for aircraft.
All right. And Taylor, would you like to go next?
We can hear you, Jonathan.
Yes, I can go next. Hi everyone, my name is Taylor. I did my undergrad and master's degree at UNC Charlotte for business analytics and data science. I'm currently a PhD student. I'm studying data science as well. And I'm currently located in Cary, North Carolina, where I'm working as a data analyst. So I'm happy to be here and help out with you all.
And Devin?
Yeah, am I coming through?
Yes.
Awesome. So, hey guys, this is Devin Bechtel. I am currently in Raleigh, North Carolina. I also work for John Deere right now. My background was in mechanical engineering, so I graduated from Purdue University with my bachelor's, and then I got my master's in business analytics. So I did more of like the manufacturing engineering, working with the equipment at John Deere, and then transitioned more over to the data science and data engineering side. Just some of my hobbies, I really enjoy 3D printing and working with microcontrollers. So like Arduinos or Raspberry Pis, if you guys have heard of those, I love working with those and automating things. So really good to meet everybody and looking forward to this event.
Awesome. And Laura?
Hi everyone, my name is Laura. I have my bachelor's in math. I've done some teaching since I've graduated. I've only taught math, sixth grade math, and then high school math, math 2 and math 3. Oh, and I taught an engineering class also. Um, yeah, and for fun, I like to exercise a lot and I like just learning just about anything that interests me. So, yeah.
Awesome. All right, Kaylin, I don't think Kaylin has joined us yet. She has sent word that she's going to be a little late, so when she gets in, we can have her do her introductions. All right, so those of you who have joined that are coming to learn, if you want to put something in the chat about yourself, if you want to come off of mute, you definitely can. If you want to come off of mute and do a quick intro, we'd be glad to have you do that. Tell us your grade, where you're located, and anything you're interested in doing when you get out of high school or middle school. Anyone like to go first?
Yeah, I can go ahead. I'm not here for the program. I'm actually a volunteer for the program. So my name is Timothy Bass. I am currently a first year graduate student at North Carolina A&T, studying data science and engineering, and I have a bachelor's of science in computer science. I'm from Goldsboro, North Carolina, if any of y'all know where that is. And yeah, I'm looking forward to helping out any way I can for the program.
Well, Tim, we just recruited you, so I'm going to add you to the team. Okay. Did I miss
That's
anybody
right, Dr.
else?
Tony.
That's right.
Welcome aboard, Tim.
That's right,
And
Tim.
also, Tim's a member of the professional chapter. He didn't mention it, but he is also.
Right. He's our vice president. Thanks for coming, Tim. All right. Let me see, who else do I see in here? Chris Ferguson.
Hello. I'm a first year computer science, undergraduate computer science student at USC.
Awesome. So glad to have you, Chris. We might have to lean on you a little bit as well.
Maybe.
Okay. John Sampson.
Hi, I'm a freshman computer engineering student at North Carolina A&T. I'm here to volunteer and just try to help out as much as I can.
Awesome. Glad to have you, John. Okay. All right. Let me see. The other John Winstead. Quick intro. Jonathan. Is Jonathan on? Yeah, I
Yes,
see
can you
him.
hear me?
Yes, I hear you.
Okay, hello. My name is Jonathan Winstead. I'm the junior in high school right now, and I am the Nesby Junior president.
Awesome. And Afua, would you like to introduce yourself?
Um, yeah, I'm from Raleigh, North Carolina. I'm in eighth grade, and things I like to do for fun is like writing, and, like drawing.
Awesome. Sage?
My name is Sage. Uh, and I'm in eighth grade, and I like drawing.
Wonderful. And actually, Sage designed our t-shirts that we had last year for the camp. So she designed the back of the shirt. You'll see that momentarily. All right. Did I miss anybody? Let me see. Kaylin, I see Kaylin has popped in. Kaylin was just doing quick introductions. If you want to say something real quick about yourself and introduce yourself.
Yes, ma'am. Hi everyone. My name's Kaylin Coleman. I am a senior at Meredith College. I'm majoring in math, double minoring in data science and public health. Um, let's see. And I'm really excited to be here. Thank you for having me.
Awesome. Okay, I'm going to come back to that one. What I want to do next is have, if you have not taken the survey, and this is for those who are the middle and high schoolers, If you haven't taken the survey, I'm going to put this in the chat real quick. And I want you to go ahead and do that because we need to collect this information so we'll be able to learn from you and learn about you. And that's going to help us know what we need to focus on. So I'm going to drop this in the chat. And if you've not taken it yet, we do want you to go ahead and do so. Like I said, it's only for the students, so high schoolers, middle schoolers. If you are volunteering, you don't need to take it. So it's only for the students, the pre-college students. And who hasn't taken it? Maybe we should do this way. Who hasn't had a chance to take that survey yet? Have you had a chance to do it, Afua?
Yes, I just did it a few
You
minutes
just
ago.
did it. Okay, awesome. All right, maybe everyone that's here right now is taking it. Okay. All right, so the next thing we're gonna do, get back into our presentation. Let's see. I think we should go ahead and do the icebreaker real quick. Let's do that, and then we'll come back to the slides that I bypassed. So at this time, Taylor, I'll pass it over to you to kind of do the icebreaker. And if you want the volunteers to go into, breakout rooms with the students that we have, we can do that as well.
Okay, sounds good. So yeah, so we wanted to do a little bit of an icebreaker to help you all get to know each other and also introduce just a few data concepts. So this icebreaker will involve knowing a little bit about types of data. And two of the main distinctions that you may have heard about with data types are qualitative and quantitative information. So just as a short review, quantitative data, it relies on numbers to describe things, and it can be countable or measurable. It can tell us how many, how much, or how often. And some examples of quantitative data may be like your height or your age or how much money you make. Those are all numbers-based descriptors. And then secondly, qualitative data it relies on language to describe things rather than numbers. So this is describing the qualities or characteristics or something using language. And some examples could be like colors or your gender or shapes. So something that doesn't rely on numbers for descriptions. So Tony, you can go to the next slide.
Okay.
So the icebreakers is really simple. So we're wanting to go into breakout rooms for a few minutes, and you're going to see if you can find any qualitative or quantitative information that you may have in common, and then you can note them or write them down. So for an example, if you both have curly hair, that would be an example of qualitative data. Or if you have two pets, that's quantitative data. So just things you have in common to try to get to know each other a little bit. And then when we come back together, we can share a little bit about what we learned with each other. So Tony, yeah, I don't know how many students there are, but
Okay.
If
I'm
we
gonna,
wanted to put them in breakout rooms for a little bit, that would be great.
okay. Let me just do a quick check and see here. All right, so I do have some rooms already set up. So what we'll do is Afua and Sage, why don't you go into, let me see if you can see the rooms. I have some breakout rooms already created. Why don't you two go into room number 5, and then also Kaylin and Laura, why don't you go in there just to kind of coach them through that assignment a little bit. You might need to take a picture of this screen in case you need to refer back to it. So you all go into room number 5, and that will be Afua and Sage, and Laura and Kaylin will be there to kind of coach you through that assignment. And we'll take 10 minutes. So at 7:35, come back, or we'll put a message out to get you to come back over. And then why don't let me see. Jonathan, looks like I don't see Nana. I thought Nana was in there. So Jonathan, why don't you go into room number 6, and Tim, why don't you and John go to room 6 with Jonathan, since he's by himself. Maybe the three of you kind of help, work together on one of you can pair with him to do this exercise.
And that was room 6, Dr. Tony?
Right, room 6 for Jonathan.
Okay, sure. All right. Who's kicking me over there, Taylor or yourself? Or we just
Let me
going us to
see.
go?
Yeah, if you can kind of go get over there, and if you can't, I can get you over there too.
I don't see the breakout rooms popped up yet.
Yeah, I hear people saying they don't see it pop up, but I can get you in
At
there.
least not on my screen. You
Okay.
can just kick me over there. Yeah.
All right. Make sure everybody's where they need to be. Sage, I need to get you over to 5. And Afua to 5. All right, and John and Tim, I'm gonna get you to 6 as well.
Here you go.
Okay. I can see
And then
everything.
Tony, also Chris.
Okay.
Chris.
Chris, I'm gonna get you over to 6 as well. So Chris,
Okay.
you and Jonathan, as a John, dad, and Jonathan, the son. So you and Jonathan can work together. Okay. All right, so I can see the breakout rooms now. Okay. And let me check on the student that we had in tutoring. I think she left already. Looks like she left. Okay. All right, so we'll give them about 5, 6 more minutes, maybe 7 more minutes. We'll go 8 more minutes.
Dr. Tony, were you supposed to put me in room 5, or is there somewhere I can go to put myself in 5?
Oh, I don't know why it's not working. Is that Laura talking?
Yeah, it says that you've opened the rooms, but
Oh, yeah. Let me put you in.
it says we have to
Let me
wait
put
to
you in
be
there.
assigned.
Oh, okay. I don't know why it's doing it. I'll put you and Kaylin in there.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Okay, maybe I didn't do something right. I thought I set it up where people could join on their own. All right, they have about 5 more minutes.
Here we go. Here's the trick. Yes.
I do it because I love it, cause I know I can. Stems in my heart, and part the master's plan. I do it because I love it, cause I know I can. Stems in my heart, and part the master's plan. This is a rhyme for education. I'm advocating it for every generation. It's what we need for elevation and navigation to our next destination. We have no fear of math calculation, chemical formulation, or scientific notation. Banneker, Walker, and Carver use their imagination and brain stimulation to birth a new creation. Therefore, I know through STEM education, I will excel with a strong foundation and change the world with a new revelation to lead us all to the next destination. I do it because I love it, cause I know I can. Stems in my heart, and a part of the master's plan. I do it because I love it, cause I know I can. Stems in my heart, and a part of the master's plan. Master's plan.
2 plus 2 is 4. Oh, you didn't know. This is junior year, yeah, we rocking out the dough. Go on, get the grades, go on, make the A's. Then I was test, yeah, we knocking out for days. Engineers, that's who we be. We poppin' on the scene, whole region too deep. Go on, catch this wave, go on, make a move. You missing out if you don't fall through, yeah. Go on, get with it, yeah. Go on, get jiggy, yeah. Sign up now for only $5.50, yeah. Cause we stemmed out, cause we stemmed out. Cause we stemmed out. Cause we stemmed.
Cause I love it, cause I know I can. Stems in my heart, and part of the master's plan. I do it cause I love it, cause I know I can. Stems in my heart, and part of the master's plan.
Okay, knowledge yourself, that's true wealth. Take care of your fam, that's true health. Hit the books and get to this paper. Know your plan. Gotta know your major. Self-help books for kids to be reading. Mentoring and tutoring for kids that we lead in. Start early, you'll learn something every day. Your future's bright.
I do it because I love it, cause I know I can. Stems in my heart, and part of the master's plan. I do it because I love it, cause I know I can. Stems in my heart, and part of the master's plan.
Shine so bright, you could use candelas with a flow so tight. Make the whole world jealous, whole team took flight. Now we all interstellar with a force like steam. Make your whole life better. You can follow any dream in any nightmare. Turn crops into cream, but a crystal clear stand. It's a real tight thing. Engineers aren't rare, but we gotta be aware of the wealth thing brings. The limelight might come right, but then again it probably won't last light. Then what you gonna do when the fun's tight? Since you brought a dull knife to a gunfight, you ain't gotta listen to me. Education made me money. I made hard days sunny with a 4-year degree. Had a full ride mean free. Look, I don't chase money, man, money chase me.
All right.
That was nice. When did y'all put that together?
They are ready to come on back. I'm gonna scoot over there real quick, check things out, and get them on back over here. Yeah, you guys ready to come on back?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So you guys you can just leave the breakout room and head on back. All right. Do we have everyone back? Let's see who's missing. All right, let me go to room 6.
Your undergrad,
Data science. Yeah, I
where
mean,
you going back to school for, Tim? Your undergrad is computer. Oh, data science.
yeah, I mean, I'm in grad school now for data science engineering.
Is that an ANT also?
Yes, sir.
All right, cool. Aggie Pride. All
Aggie
right.
Pride all the way.
Hey, whenever you all are ready to come on back over, we have the others trailing back in.
Alrighty, well, I think we got a good list of things we could share when we get back to the main room. Miss
All
I'll
Tim.
right.
say so.
Yep.
All right, I'll meet you over there.
Alrighty.
Do you all see the leave room button? Is that showing up?
Yes, it shows up.
Okay, all right.
Yep. Doesn't show up on my screen, but I'll hop back over there.
It should kick you back eventually.
Yeah, I can close the rooms. All right. I think we're getting everybody back. I'm just going to close out the rooms, and that should automatically bounce everybody back over here. All right. It's back going, sharing. Let's see here. All right, so I will get the screen share back going, get that slide back up for us. All right, do we have everyone back now?
I believe so.
Okay. All right, let me get my volume back up here. All right, so Taylor, how do you want to proceed on this part?
Yeah, so there's only 2 groups, so I don't know who wants to go first or want me to call on someone.
What?
Just go.
I'm sorry.
No, go ahead, Tim.
I was gonna say I can speak from my group if you would like.
Yeah, sure. Thank you.
Oh yeah, no problem, no problem. So it was in my breakout room, it was me, John, Jonathan, and Christopher. And we were just getting to know one of another, and we have found a couple things. With us, it was more so we have a lot of qualitative things in common and not quantitative, but we did find some things. So me and John are have one thing in common, and that is we're the oldest of 2. And then me and Jonathan, I have something in common. We are both A&T alums. We are all something that we all share is that we're all from the Carolinas, whether that's North Carolina or South Carolina, and we all have black hair. Me, John, and Christopher don't really care for sports. That's one thing that we all had in common. We'll watch it, but we're not like fanatics of the thing. Both of our Johns actually have 4 TVs in their house. John and Christopher are currently freshmen in undergrad, and they both are studying computer science. And me and John and Christopher are all computer science backgrounds.
That was
Yeah,
good.
that's really great. Yeah, thanks so much for sharing that.
Of course, of course.
All right, is someone from the next team have a representative or want to take turns?
So either Kaylin or Laura, one of you can chime in for Afua and Sage.
I'm not sure I remember all of of what we talked about, but I think one of them was that both in 8th grade.
Okay.
I think I can't remember the other one, so if somebody else wants to help me with the other one.
I can do the other one. The quantitative thing that they had in common was their birthdays. So both of them were born in May, which is like the 5th month of the year. And I believe there was talk about height as well. That both of them were at least 5 foot. Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. The whole point of this was just to get to know each other. So, yeah, thanks for you all participating in that. And of course, we're going to learn a lot more about data. So, that was just a quick icebreaker to help get to know each other. So, Tony, I'll pass it back to you.
Awesome. Those are actually really good. Ken, I might want you all to add that in the slide deck, to be honest. I was thinking that maybe we should add a slide in here. I'm gonna just do that real quick and we'll keep things going, but I'll send the slide to Tim and Kaylin, and I'll ask you to just kind of like add in here your qualitative and quantitative themes that you realize that were coming in your conversations. So we'll do one for Tim's team, and then we'll also do one for Kaylin's team. And if you don't mind, I think that'd be really good to just include. And I'm going to share this with you each. If you don't mind, I would like for you to get that in here live as we keep going. And Tim, can I use this email address here?
Yes, ma'am, you can.
Okay. Awesome. Yeah, and just put a little summary of here's what we had that was qualitative. Here's what we had that was quantitative. And then I know, Tim, you had a little ecosystem going on. Like you had these 3 people had this and these 3 people had that. So if you need to add another slide in there to make it a little smoother, feel free to do so. All right, so I'm gonna pass it to John. John, you want to talk us through the data science slide and the Python one?
Sure. So as we start talking about data science, you'll start hearing some typical roles. I kind of get a high level overview of what some of those roles are. And even some of the people on this call may even fill some of those roles at their current job. So a data scientist, they collect, organize, and analyze and interpret data from multiple sources. Could be from the internet, databases, but that's their main focus, is to take the data that's been presented in front of them and analyze it and make sense out of it. A data analyst basically does a similar role, but they use jobs to basically tell a story of what is the data is telling us. So the data that the data scientist has collected and has put together, they go and look at that same data typically, and they, for example, they may present to management or to CEOs and say, here's what the data means in a summary level. So they may build like storyboards or dashboards for the executives to look at, so they don't have to get into the nuts and bolts of the data. Now, similar to that, a data engineer will be associated role with actually will help create the tools and databases that those other tools will be using, like whether it's the SQL database or it's another program that the data scientists, the data analysts will tap into to analyze the data. The data engineer is responsible for creating that and maintaining that database. Now, data wrangler, this similar to what the other ones, there'll be retrieving external and internal data, ensuring that the data is correct. So mostly what a data wrangler is doing is taking a data set that may not be really good, that may be missing information, that may be duplicate information, that may be stuff that needs to be filled in. So their main job is to take data, raw data that comes in, and clean that data so it can be used by the other people, members on the team, the data scientists and a data analyst. So those are the major roles. There's others that fit into the data science sphere, but those are the key ones that play in the atmosphere. Okay. All right, Dr. Tony, I believe I'm
Yep.
done.
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
sorry. I was on mute. I was saying thank you. Thank you for sharing that.
Okay.
And
Thanks.
what I wanted to do is I know that we have people on the call who do these roles, like they actually do these jobs full time working in space. I'm gonna pick on you a little bit, Devin. Devin is a data engineer. So Devin, just in a a few sentences, can you kind of give us an idea what a day in the life of Devin is like as a data engineer?
Yeah, definitely. And it definitely is a lot to do with that data engineer bullet point there. A lot of what I deal with is taking data from one place where it's kind of messy and needs to be structured, and then building a database or a data pipeline to get it to a place where data scientists, these data wranglers, these other roles can easily access it. So it's a lot of automating pipelines, building cloud infrastructure, and just making the data easier to grab. So a day in life is really building out projects for others to access that data and easily get to it.
Awesome. And did you do these other, were you a data wrangler or a data analyst before you were a data engineer?
Yeah, so I got to do some data wrangling, and just like John had said, you are really taking data that might come from these databases and you're manipulating it to make it presentable to an audience, creating graphs, and we'll of course get a chance to maybe do some of this when we get into Excel, but using programs like Excel to build graphs, build charts, and then just present it out and get it into a form that can be consumed by a general audience. And then data science as well. Yeah, so being able to use machine learning or draw insights on the data that you're working with. So maybe you're taking this information to be able to make predictions, all that information that normally people wouldn't be able to easily draw from when the data is just in its raw format.
Awesome. All right. Anyone else on the phone who on the call who works in the data space that wants to just kind of give us a little insight of your day to day and how it relates to one of these roles?
I can speak on like what I did at my internship. Honestly, when I saw data wrangler, it kind of brought me back to what I did, like the team I was on. And one term that I learned during this internship is app governance. And basically what that was that I learned is like making sure that the basically data wrangling, making sure the data makes sense, making sure that it's accurate. So I thought that was a really cool connection.
Okay. Awesome. Now, I don't actually work in data science or in the data space, but in my role as a manager of STEM diversity advancement, I need to leverage data from HR and different sources to help me understand how people are doing at work. Like, are they staying? Are they leaving? Um, are they getting promoted? I look at data across different ethnic groups, gender differences to understand what insights am I seeing? Like what am I gaining? What am I learning from that? So someone who's a data scientist has created a dashboard that I use, and I ask data analysts to pull information for me and kind of use it to make some insights and create projects or activities to help drive the direction that we want to go with the business for diversity, equity, and inclusion. So data can be used across multiple industries, disciplines, like pretty much anything that you decide you want to do, whether it's in STEM or not, someone is going to be pulling some data together and using some data to make some decisions to help drive the right outcomes. All right. So, intro to Python. So, John, I did find a little video that I thought was a really good little introduction to this. Do you want to talk to this slide, or should I play the video real quick? It's just 2 minutes. And you might be on mute, John.
Yes, well, you can go ahead and play the video. Yep.
Okay. All right. I learned a lot about it myself.
Python. What is it, how does it work, and how you can get started today. All of that and more in 2 minutes. Start the timer. Python is a prevalent general-purpose programming language often used for machine learning and data analysis. Python was created by Guido van Rossum and was first released on February 20th, 1991. This language is so influential that in 1999 the Zen of Python was released, which is a guiding set of principles for using Python in the utmost Mr. Miyagi way. There are numerous reasons why this language is hotter than the Backstreet Boys were in 1997. The first being that Python is very readable, like it states in the Zen of Python. Simple is better than complex, and that's exactly what the language mirrors. Python can also handle a multitude of different jobs, from machine learning to data analytics, web development, testing, and so on. There is no need to debate how great this language is. But how can we use it? You can download Python on the official Getting Started with Python page. Once downloaded, creating a file with Python is as easy as naming the file and ending it with .py. These files are also referred to as modules. Then all you need to do is print hello world, and there you go. You can brag to all your friends that you are the next Bill Gates. You have probably heard of interpreted versus compiled, right? Well, Python is an interpreted language, which means the source code is converted into bytecode that is then executed by the Python virtual machine. This equates to Python being extremely fast to develop, but not so fast during the execution step since the code is not directly compiled and executed. But why should we learn Python? Probably the most important answer to that is just how beginner-friendly the language is. If you're brand new to web development, my recommendation is either learn Python or JavaScript. You can't go wrong with either. As we mentioned before, Python is also extremely versatile. You can do so many different tasks with just one language. Lastly, Python developers are extremely in demand. There are 36,000 job postings on ZipRecruiter at this current moment for entry-level Python developers. If you want to learn Python and fully master one of the most relevant languages in the world of development, check out Zero to Mastery's complete Python Developer Bootcamp course, where you'll go from beginner to expert.
Okay. It's just a quick little video on Python.
Yeah, that's a great video, Doctor. I haven't seen that video before, but that's a good synopsis. Absolutely.
All right. Is there anything we need to add? Let's see here. Let me get back over to my screen. We'll talk to this slide real quick and we're almost ready to wrap up here. So the video kind of summed it up, but basically Python is a popular programming language. It can be used on a server to create web applications, develop software, as it mentioned, perform math calculations, works on different platforms. Python has a syntax that's similar to English that allows developers to write programs with fewer lines than some other programming languages. Python can be written in what is called an integrated development environment that allows programmers to write and execute their code to see immediate feedback. So
yeah, that's a key thing when you're doing Python programming. You can write a code and then you can execute the code and see real time. Do you have any errors in that code? Was it what you intended it to do? So it's really easy to learn and by trial and error by using Python that way.
All right.
And yeah, I thought real quickly to this. So SQL is a standard programming language. So this language stands for structured query language. It's a way of basically having data that's in a database somewhere, being able to find that data, organize that data, pull information from that data. You can even create databases using the SQL language. So this is really good. If you have a even a big spreadsheet, right? Instead of looking at, the 10,000th line to find a certain piece of information, you can use SQL and say, hey, find this information somewhere in this database or this table, and it'll find it quickly for you. So if you're able to learn SQL, you'll be way ahead because you could use that for a lot of reasons. As mentioned at the bottom, you could also use SQL to build a website. Like if you have content that needs to be updated on the website, you can actually write SQL code to populate that website on a certain frequency. So it can really but you need to be an advanced user for that. There's some techniques for it, but it's really useful tool. So that's why we want to introduce you guys to both Python and SQL, and that should give you a good foundation for navigating the data science environment.
All right. Okay. Does anybody have any questions before we get into the closeout or anything we covered tonight? And we'll also make this video available if you want to go back and watch it. And we have some people who weren't able to come tonight, and some of them texted me, and I said it's recorded, so they'll be able to go back and watch it and be up to speed for Saturday. All right, so just a little bit of review and discussion of what you're going to need. So a laptop, tablet, and Wi-Fi. Those are the main things that you're going to need. The tools and software that we use will be web-based, so you don't have to download anything. There are some books that if you did T.R.E.N.D.S last summer, you already have the books that we got from T.R.E.N.D.S. So if you didn't do T.R.E.N.D.S last summer, we can definitely get those for you. And that will be perhaps some emailed materials such as our syllabus, our calendar, and things of that nature. So for the most part, that's what you'll be needing. And then I will talk to my fellow team here to determine if we want to use Google Classroom or the chats. What we did last summer was the students had different chats that they use, and that's how the instructors communicated with them and made sure they kept up with the tasks and assignments that were coming up. Since this is a mini camp, the main things that we'll be focusing on will be Excel, Python, and SQL. And then also learning about history and ethics. So not as in-depth as last time, but really good content to get you started and on your way. We'll also use, what's the platform called, John? Web3 or 3 Web School? What was the name of it? We'll be using that.
W3 Schools.
Okay.
Called W3 Schools. Yep.
W3 Schools. Okay. So we'll use that as kind of our primary learning tool and platform to test out and see examples of Python and SQL and any other coding languages that we want to play around with. And these were the books that the middle schoolers got. The Python Programming for Beginners. Power On was more around ethics and responsible AI. And then we also had a book on Black inventors to make sure that you're learning about individuals who come before you, and even those that are current. Like some of these people have passed on, and some are still living. So like learning about other people that are doing what you're interested in doing, and people that you can resonate with. And here is a similar set of books for the high schoolers. The main thing is that if you don't have these, you want to make sure you can get them. And if you have registered and completed the survey, we'll have your information and be able to get this to you or your parents. That's going to close out our time for tonight. The next time we're going to be meeting up will be Saturday morning at 11 a.m. So Saturday, we'll spend more time being hands-on and having our breakout rooms. I know we had quite a few people missing tonight, but over the next few days, I'll be reaching out to them to kind of get them set up for Saturday and up to speed. We'll be focusing on, we'll probably have to spend a little time doing a quick little overview, but we have about 2.5 hours scheduled. We'll have a break built into that. And then the next meeting after that would be Monday, October the 30th. I'll send out the calendar, the visual that I showed on the screen tonight, and everyone should have a Google Calendar invite from me. If you don't have that, let me know. I can add you to the calendar. Just drop your information in the chat if you did not get an invite to this meeting through the calendar or any of the other meetings that have already been put out there for the next several weeks. All right. Any questions or comments from anyone? Questions from our campers? Sage, Afua, Jonathan, any questions or thoughts? Okay. And anything from any of our instructors? Okay, Sage says, no, I'm good. Any of our instructors, any questions or any comments you want to add before we close out?
Nope, I'm good.
All right.
Same here. I'm good.
Great.
Same.
Okay. All right, we'll end here tonight. I'll stop the recording, and instructors, you can stay around just for a few minutes. I will want to just have a quick little roundup. Everyone else is free to go. Thank you for coming, and we'll see you on Saturday morning at 11.